Hi, welcome to the class of Complex Analysis, Probability and Statistical Methods, 18 Mat 41. Today, I'll be teaching a topic in Module 1, Calculus of Complex Functions. The topic name is Harmonic Functions. We'll discuss the definition and the important theorem in it, followed by the type 3 category of problems to find the harmonic conjugate and hence the analytic function. Myself, Dr. Madhura, Assistant Professor, Department of Mathematics, Sai Vidya Institute of Technology, Bengaluru. First, we will understand the definition for harmonic function. Harmonic function. A function phi is said to be harmonic. A function phi is said to be harmonic if it satisfies the Laplace's equation. If it satisfies the Laplace's equation, which is given by del square phi is equal to 0. So any function phi is said to be harmonic if it satisfies the Laplace equation. In general, the Laplace equation is given by del square phi is equal to 0. Now we will understand in Cartesian form how is the Laplace equation given by, and in polar form how is the Laplace's equation given by. So in Cartesian form, in Cartesian form, phi of x comma y is said to be harmonic. X and y are the variables in the Cartesian. So we are writing phi of x comma y is said to be harmonic. Is harmonic if it satisfies the condition dou square phi by del square phi. Now we are expanding in the Cartesian form. So dou square phi by dou x square plus dou square phi by dou y square is equal to 0. This is the expression for Laplace's equation in the Cartesian form. So any function phi of x comma y is said to be harmonic if it satisfies the condition dou square phi by dou x square plus dou square phi by dou y square is equal to 0. This is in the Cartesian form. Similarly, now we will see in the polar form. So in polar form, phi of r comma theta, r and theta are the variables in the polar representation. So phi of r comma theta is said to be harmonic if it satisfies the equation dou square phi by dou r square plus 1 by r dou phi by dou r plus 1 by r square dou square phi by dou theta square is equal to 0. So this is the expression for harmonic or Laplace's equation. This is the expression for Laplace's equation in the polar form. So dou square phi by dou r square plus 1 by r dou phi by dou r plus 1 by r square dou square phi by dou theta square. If this happens to be equal to 0, then it is satisfying the Laplace's equation in polar form, and hence we can say the function phi of r comma theta is harmonic. Now we will note down a point which is required while doing problems for us. Note, if f of z is equal to u plus iv, if f of z, which is given by u plus iv, is an analytic function, then u is called the conjugate harmonic function of v and vice versa. So u is called the conjugate harmonic function of V and vice versa. Means V is called the conjugate harmonic function of U. So suppose f of z is equal to u plus iv is an analytic function. Then u is said to be the conjugate harmonic function of v and v is said to be the conjugate harmonic function of u. Now let us prove a theorem, an important theorem. Prove that the real and imaginary parts of an analytic function are harmonic. So statement of the theorem says that the real and imaginary parts of an analytic function are harmonic, and while we are doing the question, while the question format, it can be of the form, prove that the real and imaginary parts of an analytic function are harmonic. So I'll just first write on the statement. So under harmonic function, this is the theorem. The real and imaginary parts, the real and imaginary parts of an analytic function are harmonic. The real and imaginary parts of an analytic function are harmonic. Here the analytic function is f of z, and f of z is always given by u plus iv. So real and imaginary parts here are u and v respectively. So we need to prove that the real and imaginary parts, that is u and v respectively, are harmonic. So we can prove the theorem in two different manner. One is in the Cartesian form, the other one in the polar representation. So here I'll be doing the proof for the Cartesian representation. On the similar lines we can obtain for polar form. So here I'll be doing only for the Cartesian representation. Any one proving is sufficient. So we can do it for Cartesian. So the real and imaginary parts of an analytic function, that is u and v respectively, have to prove they are harmonic. So let us consider, now I am doing the proof in the Cartesian form. So let me represent that in the Cartesian form. I am doing the proof. Let us first assume f of z, which is given by u of x comma y, Cartesian, plus I into v of x comma y, be analytic function, then by CR equations we have ux is equal to vy and vx is equal to minus uy. Ux is equal to vy and vx is equal to minus uy. These are the CR equations in the Cartesian form. Since the given function f of z is analytic, we can use the CR equations. Now we will write down the full form of this ux is equal to vy and vx is equal to uy form. So this is same as writing dou u by dou x is equal to dou v by dou y, and the other one is dou v by dou x is equal to minus dou u by dou y. Now let me call these equations respectively as equations 1 and 2. Now our aim is to obtain the harmonic function. That is, I have to prove u is harmonic and v is harmonic. So we need to prove uxx plus uyy is equal to 0 and vxx plus vyy is equal to 0. The short forms I am using for u and v with respect to u and v. Dou square u by dou x square plus dou square u by dou y square is equal to 0. That is, real part is said to be harmonic. Similarly, to say the harmonic, the imaginary part is harmonic, that is v is harmonic, we need to prove dou square v by dou x square plus dou square v by dou y square is equal to 0. So let us first mention what is to be proved, and we'll see with the remaining part how to proceed further. So to prove uxx, I am writing the short form, plus uyy is equal to 0, and the second one is vxx plus vyy is equal to 0. So these two are to be proved. Now, to do the proof, what we are going to start with is we shall differentiate partially equation 1 with respect to x and equation 2 with respect to y in one case, and in the other case vice versa we are going to do. Means we differentiate equation 1 partially with respect to y and equation 2 partially with respect to x, the vice versa part of it. So those are the two different cases which will help us to prove easily the required thing, that is uxx plus uyy is equal to 0 and vxx plus vyy is equal to 0. So let us see that first. Now firstly, we differentiate equation 1 partially with respect to x and 2 with respect to y. Equation 1 partially with respect to x and equation 2 partially with respect to y. So this will give us, left hand side we'll see first for equation 1. Equation 1 partially with respect to x. So this will become dou u by dou x, once again differentiated with respect to x, gives us dou square u by dou x square. Dou square u by dou x square is equal to, with respect to x, when we differentiate the right hand side we get dou square v by dou x dou y. Similarly, equation 2 partially with respect to y will give us dou square v by dou y dou x is equal to minus dou square u by dou y square. Dou square u by dou y square. Now we know one of the important property in the partial derivatives. The property says that dou square v by dou x dou y is always equal to dou square v by dou y dou x. So that property we will use so that we can equate the other side. So we know that dou square v by dou x dou y is equal to dou square v by dou y dou x. So we are saying that the right hand side here and the left hand side here are equal. So since they are equal, the LHS here and the RHS here are equal, we can equate the other one. So we can get, therefore, dou square u by dou x square is equal to minus dou square u by dou y square. And this implies for us dou square u by dou x square plus dou square u by dou y square dou square u by dou y square is equal to 0. This is one and the same as writing down in the short form uxx plus uyy is equal to 0. This is one and the same as writing uxx short form plus uyy is equal to 0, and this implies for us that u is satisfying the Laplace equation. So this implies u satisfies Laplace's equation in the Cartesian form, and hence u is harmonic. Since it satisfies the Laplace's equation, we can conclude u is harmonic. Now similar lines we need to prove v is harmonic. So in order to prove v is harmonic, we differentiate equation 1 now partially with respect to y and equation 2 partially with respect to x. Last time we had done differentiation partially with respect to x, equation 2 with respect to y. Now we are doing vice versa of it, 1 with respect to y and 2 with respect to x. So next line you can write down. Now differentiating equation 1 partially with respect to y and equation 2 with respect to x partially, we can obtain the left hand side becomes dou square u by dou y dou x is equal to minus dou square v by dou x square, and equation 2 partially with respect to x. So this is not minus, actually this is plus dou square v by dou y square. dou square v by dou y square. And equation 2 partially with respect to x gives us dou square v by dou x square is equal to minus dou square u by dou x dou y. Just check it out once. 1 with respect to y. So equation 1 with respect to y gives us dou square u by dou y dou x is equal to dou square v by dou y square. Correct? And equation 2 with respect to x partially gives us dou square v by dou x square is equal to minus dou square u by dou x dou y. Now it's correct. Now we can take this minus sign to the other side and rewrite the equation. Second equation I'm just rewriting the other way. So we can write it down as dou square u by dou x dou y is now equal to minus dou square v by dou x square. The purpose of writing this way is, again we can recall that dou square u by dou y dou x is equal to dou square u by dou x dou y. With that property, again we can write down, since dou square u by dou x dou y is always equal to dou square u by dou y dou x, we get here again the LHS and LHS are same, so we can equate the RHS. So by equating the RHS, what can we obtain? Dou square v by dou y square is equal to minus dou square v by dou x square. So we get dou square v by dou y square is equal to minus dou square v by dou x square. So this will give us, take one minus term to the left hand side, we can obtain dou square v by dou x square plus dou square v by dou y square is equal to 0, or the short form of this is vxx plus vyy is equal to 0. Now we observe that v satisfies the Laplace's equation. V satisfies the Laplace's equation. V satisfies the Laplace's equation, and hence we can conclude V is harmonic. V is harmonic. So in the last case, we proved that U is harmonic. Now we have proved that V is harmonic. So we are proving the real and imaginary part of an analytic function are harmonic. So thus we can conclude, in the Cartesian form we have proved the result. Thus the real and imaginary parts, the real and imaginary parts of an analytic function are harmonic. It is important to assume the given function is analytic because we started with CR equations, if you could recall. So just observe the previous page. We started with CR equations. Dou u by dou x is equal to dou v by dou y, and dou v by dou x is equal to minus dou u by dou y. Since it was given that f of z is analytic, we can consider the CR equations, and starting from the CR equations we were able to differentiate partially once again with respect to x and y and vice versa case to obtain u and v are harmonic. Hence the proof for us. Now we will see type 3 category of problems based on harmonic function. So type 3, and the aim of type 3 problems is to find the conjugate harmonic function and hence the analytic function. So finding the conjugate harmonic function, and hence the analytic function f of z. So first we will recall what is the conjugate harmonic function. We had discussed already. We'll just recall the definition once. So conjugate harmonic function is nothing but u and v are said to be the conjugate of each other. If f of z is equal to u plus iv is an analytic function, then u is called the conjugate harmonic function of v, and vice versa. So our aim is, given suppose u, we'll be finding its conjugate harmonic as v, and hence the analytic function f of z, or vice versa also. So given v, we will be finding first the conjugate harmonic function, that is u, and hence the analytic function f of z. So we will see the working rule first. Working rule. Working rule will help us to do the problems in an easy manner. So that is the reason I always discuss the working rule. So working rule first. Step 1, given u, suppose I assume u is given u, we find the partial derivatives first, ux, comma uy, and consider the CR equations. Cauchy-Riemann equations. I am discussing the working rule with respect to Cartesian form. Similar lines can be followed to work out in the polar representation. So second step, considering the CR equations, we substitute ux, comma uy to obtain a system of two non-homogeneous PDE, partial differential equations, of the form Vy is equal to f of x, comma y, and Vx is equal to g of x, comma y. So I'll just mention the same thing now. Substitute ux, comma uy. Substitute ux, comma uy to obtain a system of two non-homogeneous PDE, non-homogeneous partial differential equations of the form Vy is equal to v suffix y is equal to f of x, comma y, function of x, comma y, and another equation will be of the form Vx is equal to some other function of x, comma y, say g of x, comma y. So once the given u, with that u, if I find the partial derivatives ux and uy, it will help me to substitute in the CR equations, so that you will obtain two non-homogeneous partial differential equations with respect to Vy and Vx we can obtain, which will look like Vy is equal to function of x, y, and Vx is equal to some other function of g of x, comma y, some other function of x, comma y. Now in the next step, the above equations can be solved. The above two non-homogeneous partial differential equations can be solved by direct integration. We can solve it by direct integration to obtain the harmonic conjugate V. To obtain the harmonic conjugate V. So here if you observe, I started with the given U. So given U, I can find out the partial derivatives ux, uy, substitute in the CR equations to have two non-homogeneous PDE of the form Vy and Vx, so that solving these equations on direct integration, we can obtain the harmonic conjugate V. So once the harmonic conjugate V is obtained, okay, this working procedure, whatever we have written, is applicable in the same way with respect to other thing that is given V also. We can find it out U in the same manner. So I'll just mention that here in the bracket. Similar way, we can find U given V. So on the same lines, working on the same lines, that is given V, we can find out the partial derivatives Vx, comma Vy. Considering the CR equations, you substitute the partial derivatives Vx and Vy to obtain two system of non-homogeneous PDEs with respect to U of x, comma y. So with those two, by solving direct integration, we can obtain the harmonic conjugate u. That is what the working procedure is for the other one. Now, after finding the harmonic conjugate, we can as well find out the analytic function f of z. So, how to find out f of z? U will be known, v will be known. So, f of z is equal to u plus iv. U plus iv gives f of z as a function of x comma y. F of z as a function of x comma y. Now, as a function of x comma y, when I know, I can substitute Milne-Thomson substitution in the Cartesian form. How is it given? Milne-Thomson substitution in the Cartesian form is given by substituting x is equal to z and y is equal to 0. To obtain, what is the purpose of doing this? To obtain f of z as a function of z. To obtain f of z as a function of z. So this is the working procedure with respect to Cartesian form. Now we will note that for the polar also we can work out on the same lines. Similar lines are followed. Similar lines are followed for polar form. For polar form, we can follow the similar lines. So this is the working procedure to find the conjugate harmonic function and hence the analytic function. Now we can discuss problems on the same. So I can write down the common heading. Show that, common heading I'm just giving, show that the following functions are harmonic. First, to prove that they are harmonic, find its harmonic conjugate. Also find the corresponding analytic function f of z. This is a common heading for the problems that I'm going to discuss. So first we have to prove that the given functions are harmonic. So if it is a Cartesian form, the representation of the Cartesian is, to say it is harmonic, we have to prove phi xx plus phi yy is equal to 0, or dou square phi by dou x square plus dou square phi by dou y square is equal to 0 in the Cartesian form. Suppose the same thing is asked, a polar curve is asked for us, and then we need to prove dou square phi by dou r square plus 1 by r dou phi by dou r plus 1 by r square dou square phi by dou theta square is equal to 0 to prove harmonic. Then we have to find its harmonic conjugate. So suppose u is given, we have to find the harmonic conjugate v. Suppose v is given, we have to find the harmonic conjugate u. Hence find the corresponding analytic function f of z. So once we will be knowing both u and v, f of z will be u plus iv. So we have already discussed the same thing in the working procedure. So let us discuss the problems now. So first one, I would like to take up a Cartesian curve. A Cartesian curve I'm taking up. Given question is u is equal to x cube minus 3xy square plus 3x square minus 3y square plus 1. So first we need to prove that this curve u is harmonic and then find the harmonic conjugate v followed by the corresponding analytic function f of z. So let us do one by one. There are three parts of the problem to prove. So to prove that u is harmonic, we need to prove uxx plus uyy is equal to 0. In general, it is phi xx plus phi yy is equal to 0. Now we have to prove for the function u. So we need to prove uxx plus uyy is equal to 0. Second order partial derivative twice with respect to x, twice with respect to y. So let us find out those partial derivatives first. So in the solution, I'm directly finding out the partial derivatives given the u for s. So ux with respect to x partial differentiation 3x square minus 3y square plus 6x minus 0 plus 0. So with respect to x, once again, when I differentiate, it is uxx. So this gives us 6x minus 0 plus 6 plus 6. So this is partial differentiation with respect to x. I hope all of us are familiar to do partial differentiation. Anyway, once again, I will explain. X cube differentiation partially with respect to x is 3x square. Second term, minus 3y square is a constant. Differentiation of x is 1. 3x square differentiation is 6x. 3y square and 1 both are constant when I differentiate partially with respect to x. So differentiation goes to 0. Once again, when we want to differentiate this partially with respect to x, 3x square is 6x. 3y square is a constant. Differentiation goes to 0. 6x differentiation is 6. Now we will other side, we'll try to find out uy. With respect to y, we'll find out differentiate. With respect to y, it is 0 minus 3 into 2. So that is 6xy plus 0 minus 6y plus 0. So with respect to y, when we are differentiating, x is a constant. So 3y square differentiation is 6y. That is why it is minus 6xy minus sign as it is. X cube and 3x square are constants. Differentiation goes to 0. 1 is a constant. Differentiation goes to 0. Minus 3y square differentiation partially with respect to y is minus 6y. Now we will find out uyy, means once again differentiating with respect to y, we have minus 6x minus 6. Now when I add up these two, uxx plus uyy, isn't it 0? When we add up these two, the sum is equal to 0. So therefore, the first part of the problem says, we have uxx plus uyy is equal to 0, implies u satisfies the Laplace's equation, hence u is harmonic, which is the first part of the problem for us. U is harmonic. Now the second part of the problem is to prove or to find its harmonic conjugate. Given u, v is the harmonic conjugate. So we have to find out v. We have to find out v. So next we will do it. I'll just do the same thing in the next page for convenient. Right. Our aim is to find harmonic conjugate, which is denoted by v. Here u was given, so we have to find out its harmonic conjugate v. To find out the harmonic conjugate, the working procedure says that, we'll just recall the working procedure here. So we need to consider the CR equations. We need to consider the CR equations, substitute the partial derivatives known to us, so that we obtain system of non-homogeneous partial differential equations, one with respect to y, the other one with respect to x, vx and vy we can obtain, and which are going to be solved by direct integration to obtain the harmonic conjugate v. So that is what the working rule says. So we need to consider the CR equations. Consider the CR equations in the Cartesian form. I'll write on the full form of it. Dou u by dou x is equal to dou v by dou y. And the second one is dou v by dou x is equal to minus dou u by dou y. These are the CR equations in Cartesian form. Now what all we know to substitute? Just now we have obtained dou u by dou x and dou u by dou y to substitute. Am I right? We'll just check that in the previous slide. We have dou u by dou x, that is nothing but ux, and dou u by dou y to substitute. So we can substitute here left hand side and this one second equation, the right hand side can be substituted. With that, we will rewrite dou v by dou y and dou v by dou x. Okay. So I'll just divide here so that one is with respect to the first one, second one also I can do on the same lines. That is the reason I divided like this. So I'll substitute the partial derivatives, known partial derivatives here. So in the first one, I know dou u by dou x, no? So I will write down the expression for dou v by dou y. This gives us dou v by dou y is equal to dou v by dou y is equal to dou u by dou x I'm substituting, which is 3x square minus 3y square plus 6x plus 6x. Okay, first we'll solve this. Later I'll come to the second equation. Okay. Now direct integration will give us the solution as mentioned in the working rule. So this implies for us v is equal to integration of 3x square minus 3y square plus 6x. The whole thing with respect to y I have to integrate plus add the constant of integration with respect to x. See, why did I integrate with respect to y? Let me explain first. This was dou v by dou y. So when I am integrating, I have to integrate with respect to y, and then only I can get rid of dou v by dou y term. And since it is a partial differentiation concept, right, we add the constant of integration with respect to x. When we integrate with respect to y, we add constant of integration with respect to x. When we integrate with respect to x, we add function of y as a constant of integration. So let us keep this in mind for simplicity. So this integration with respect to y will now give us v is equal to 3x square y minus 3 into y cube divided by 3 plus 6xy plus f of x. I hope it's correct. So this is on simplification, 3 get cancelled. So this is giving me 3x square y minus y cube plus 6xy plus fx. I'll rewrite that little while later in the next page. Now on the same lines, we will substitute for dou u by dou y, taking minus to the other side. So this becomes dou v by dou x is equal to. So I know the expression for dou u by dou y to substitute. What is dou u by dou y? Dou u by dou y is minus 6xy minus 6. Both are minus. Minus 6xy minus 6y. So there's a minus sign here. Minus of minus becomes plus. So this becomes 6xy plus 6y. Now we need to integrate to obtain the expression for v. So v is equal to, on direct integration, this is 6xy plus 6y into dx plus function of y. Let me explain you this. This was dou v by dou x. So I have to integrate with respect to x. In order to get rid of dou v by dou x, I have to integrate with respect to x. That is by dx. And when we integrate with respect to x, we add constant of integration in terms of y. In terms of y. That is why the partial differentiation concept comes into existence here. So this gives us v is equal to integration of 6xy with respect to x we are doing. So 6 into x square divided by 2 into y plus 6xy plus 6 into xy plus g of x. Now both these we will simplify and write down. What sort of simplification we are supposed to do? We observe that we can cancel 3 on both sides here. 3 gets cancelled here, numerator and denominator. Whereas here it is 2 ones are and it is 2 threes are. So this we can simplify and rewrite the expression for v from both the cases in the next page. So v is equal to, from the first one we can write on v. So v is equal to 3x square y minus y cube plus 6xy plus f of x. From the first case, this is the expression. And v is equal to, from the second one, I am writing, it is 3x square y plus 6xy plus g of y. Now observe these two expressions. Observe the expression here. We have 3x square y in common, or both of them, 3x square y. We have 6xy in common in both the cases, 6xy. Whereas there's no minus y cube term, which is missing here in the g of y. Minus y cube term is missing in g of y expression. So in place of g of y, I can choose the constant of integration g of y as minus y cube. If I choose so, will I be able to get a unique expression for v? Yes, we will be able to get a unique expression for v, and choosing f of x is equal to 0. Simultaneously, we have to choose f of x is equal to 0. So choosing f of x is equal to 0 and g of y is equal to minus y cube, we get unique expression for v. Unique expression for v. That is, v will be equal to 3x square y minus y cube plus 6xy. The order does not matter, just take care of plus minus sign. 3x square y minus y cube plus 6xy. This is the expression for v, which is nothing but the second part of the problem to obtain the harmonic conjugate v. Given u, first we proved it is harmonic. Next, we need to obtain the harmonic conjugate v. So on direct integration, considering the CR equations, we were able to obtain an expression for v. Now, the third and the last part of the problem is to find f of z. To find f of z. F of z is nothing but u plus iv. Now, we already know u and v from the given question. We knew u. Now, just now we obtained v. So, f of z can be substituted as u plus iv. Let us substitute both u and v first. U from the given question is x cube minus 3xy square, 3xy square plus 3x square minus 3y square plus 1 and plus I into v. V just now we obtained 3x square y minus y cube plus 6xy. So this is u plus iv for us. Now we make use of the Milne-Thomson substitution to obtain f of z as a function of z. So using Milne-Thomson substitution, we put x is equal to z and y is equal to 0. So f of z will be equal to x is equal to z everywhere. Y is 0. So plus 3z square plus 1. Just check if the answer is correct. Wherever y is there, I took 0. 0 multiplied with anything becomes 0. So 3y square goes to 0. Here in the imaginary, all the terms carries y. Since y is 0, the imaginary term vanishes. So required answer for f of z is z cube plus 3z square plus 1. This is the analytic function f of z for us. We'll see another problem now. Given v is equal to e power minus 2y into sine 2x. I had already given the common heading for you. The heading is to show that given function is harmonic. Later to find out its harmonic conjugate, and finally to find out the analytic function f of z. So we'll do all the three parts of the question one by one. So first, to prove it is harmonic, we have to prove vxx plus vyy is equal to 0. So let me first prove vx with respect to x when we differentiate partially. Differentiation of sine 2x is 2 into cos 2x, keeping e power minus 2y as it is. E power minus 2y is a constant with respect to x, keep it as it is. and differentiate sine 2x. Sine 2x differentiation is 2 into cos 2x. Similarly, if I want to differentiate once again with respect to x, it is vxx. Again, e power minus 2y is a constant. Differentiation of cos 2x is minus 2 sine 2x. Minus 2 sine 2x. We already had a 2 here. So multiplied by another 2 while differentiating gives us 4. And differentiation of cos is minus. That is why there's a minus sign here. Now we'll move ahead to find out in the same lines Vy and Vyy. So let us find out Vy first. With respect to y, sine 2x is a constant. Differentiation of e power minus 2y is minus 2 e power minus 2y, keeping sine 2x as it is. Similarly, once again, when I differentiate with respect to y, it is 4 into e power minus 2y into sine 2x constant as it is. Sine 2x is a constant in both the cases. We keep them as it is. Differentiation of e power minus 2y first time is minus 2 e power minus 2y. Once again, when I differentiate, minus 2 into minus 2 gives us plus 4 e power minus 2y. So when I add up these two, vxx plus vyy, we observe that the sum is equal to 0. So therefore, vxx plus vyy is equal to 0, and this implies v is harmonic. V is satisfying the Laplace's equation, hence we can conclude V is harmonic. Now, the second part of the problem is to find its harmonic conjugate. So, to find the harmonic conjugate, here the harmonic conjugate of V is U. Recall, U and V are the harmonic conjugate of each other. So, to find the harmonic conjugate U, we consider the CR equations and proceed as we did in the previous problem. Same way we are going to continue here. So consider the CR equations. Consider the CR equations. How are the CR equations given by? Dou u by dou x is equal to dou v by dou y, Cartesian form. Dou v by dou x is equal to minus dou u by dou y. So these are the CR equations in the Cartesian form. Now the purpose of writing or considering the CR equations is we can substitute for Vx and Vy. Means dou v by dou y and dou v by dou x we can substitute. So that we can have two system of non-homogeneous partial differential equations which will help us to obtain u by direct integration. Substituting the partial derivatives. Substituting for dou v by dou x and dou v by dou y, we get. So the first equation becomes dou u by dou x is equal to dou v by dou y. So dou v by dou y is minus 2 e power minus 2y into sine 2x. Sine 2x. And second one, when we substitute, we can obtain an expression for dou u by dou y. So dou u by dou y, we take the minus sign other side and we get minus 2 e power minus 2y into cos 2x. Let me explain by showing the previous page for you. So this is dou u by dou x is equal to dou v by dou y. So dou v by dou y is minus 2 e power minus 2y into sine 2x. The same thing we have substituted. Again, the second one is dou u by dou y is equal to minus dou v by dou x. So take minus to the other side, minus dou v by dou x. So dou v by dou x is 2 e power minus 2y into cos 2x, taking minus sign to the other side. Minus sign to the other side. Now let us solve one by one by direct integration. The first one by direct integration is u is equal to minus 2. With respect to x, when I want to differentiate, it is e power minus 2y, which is constant, right? So integration of e power minus 2y, sine 2x dx plus the constant of integration g of y plus the constant of integration g of y. First, let me proceed on this to integrate and then go to the next one. So u is minus 2 e power minus 2y is a constant. Integration of sine 2x, integration of sine 2x with respect to x is minus cos 2x divided by 2 plus the constant of integration g of y. So this we can obtain u is equal to, we observe minus 2 get cancelled. So here answer is e power minus 2y into cos 2x plus g of y. I assume the constant of integration as g of y because we integrated with respect to x. So constant of integration should be with respect to y. Here observe minus 2 and here there's a minus sign. So minus 2 get cancelled. That is why it is plus of e power minus 2y into cos 2x. Similarly, second one, when we integrate with respect to y partially, so u is equal to right. So u is equal to minus 2 integration of e power minus 2y cos 2x dy plus the constant of integration g of x. Okay, g is already used. So let me use f of x. F of x. So we will have to integrate with respect to y. So with respect to y, what is constant? Cos 2x term is constant. We'll write outside the integration. Now integration of e power minus 2y is e power minus 2y divided by minus 2 plus the constant of integration as it is. So this will help us to obtain u function as minus 2 again get cancelled on observation. So e power minus 2y into cos 2x plus f of x. E power minus 2y into cos 2x. Here also it is e power minus 2y into cos 2x. So how can we choose the constants f of x and g of y? Can we choose both of them as 0? Because the terms are getting matched with respect to both the u's, e power minus 2y into cos 2x, we can choose the constant of integrations g of y and f of x as zeros. Both are chosen as zeros. So choosing f of x is equal to 0, g of y is equal to 0, we get an unique expression for u. And that unique expression for u is e power minus 2y into cos 2x. So this was the next part of the problem. That is to find the harmonic conjugate given v. Find the harmonic conjugate given v. We were supposed to find out the u of it. So this was the second part. Now the last part of the problem is to find the analytic function f of z. So the last part of the problem, to find f of z. We consider the expression for f of z as u plus iv. Once we know both u and v, we can consider this. So consider f of z is equal to u plus iv. We know both u and v, so let us substitute both u and v. U just now we obtained e power minus 2y into cos 2x plus I into v is nothing but the given question, which is e power minus 2y into sine 2x. Now immediately we make use of the Milne-Thomson substitution. So Milne-Thomson substitution will help us to proceed f of z as a function of z. So using Milne-Thomson substitution, we put x is equal to z and y is equal to 0. Substituting x is equal to z and y is equal to 0, the f of z function will be rewritten as e power 0 is 1. So I have cos 2z plus I into sine 2z. And we recall cos theta plus I sine theta is nothing but e power I theta. E power I into theta. Here in place of theta we have 2z. So cos theta plus I sin theta form it was when we substituted x is equal to z, y is equal to 0. E power 0 is 1. So cos theta plus I sin theta is e power I theta. Here in place of theta we have 2z. So the analytic function f of z is e power I into 2z. Hence the solution. We'll see next problem on polar representation. Given v is equal to minus sine theta divided by r. Minus sine theta divided by r. Restriction for r should not be equal to 0. So given v, we have to prove first the harmonic part of it. That is, we need to prove the expression for Laplace's equation in the polar representation. We'll recall Laplace's equation in polar representation. Suppose phi is said to be harmonic if it satisfies del square phi is equal to 0. In polar form, the representation is dou square phi by dou r square plus 1 by r dou phi by dou r plus 1 by r square dou square phi by dou theta square should be equal to 0. To prove v is harmonic, the same thing should be applicable with respect to v. So VRR plus 1 by r VR plus 1 by r square v theta theta should be proved equal to 0. So if we are able to prove this, then we can say v is harmonic. Once we have proved v is harmonic, we need to find its harmonic conjugate u. Then followed by f of z. The analytic function to find, that is f of z. So we'll prove one by one. So firstly, to prove that v is harmonic, we need to find out the partial derivatives VR, VRR, v theta, theta. So let us find out the partial derivatives one by one. VR, with respect to r, sine theta is a constant. Differentiation of 1 by r is minus 1 by r square. Already there is a minus sign, so it becomes plus. Now once again, when we differentiate with respect to r, again sine theta is a constant. Differentiation of 1 by r square is minus 2 by r cube. Minus 2 by r cube. This is partial differentiation with respect to r. Now on the same lines, we can prove with respect to theta. So let us differentiate with respect to theta. Differentiation of sine theta is cos theta, keeping minus 1 by r as it is. Differentiation with respect to theta, once again, differentiation of minus cos theta is sine theta divided by r as it is. Now, as I mentioned, let us consider the Laplace's equation in polar form and prove that it is equal to 0. Consider VRR plus 1 by r VR plus 1 by r square v theta theta. Substitute all the partial derivatives and let us check or prove it is equal to 0. So this is equal to VRR is minus 2 sine theta divided by r cube plus 1 by r into VR. VR is sine theta divided by r square plus 1 by r square as it is. Differentiation v theta theta is sine theta divided by r. So this gives us, first term I will keep as it is, minus 2 sine theta divided by r cube. I will keep as it is. Second and the third term we can add. They are like terms, no? Sine theta divided by r cube plus sine theta divided by r cube. So it becomes 2 sine theta divided by r cube. The first one was with the plus minus sign. The second one is with the plus sign. So 1 plus 1 minus implies they are like terms to add. When we add, we get the sum is equal to 0. So since we had considered VRR plus 1 by r VR plus 1 by r square v theta theta, and we have arrived at it is equal to 0, can we conclude that V is harmonic? V is satisfying the Laplace equation, no? So we can conclude V is harmonic, which is the first part of the problem. Now, the second part of the problem is to prove or is to find its harmonic conjugate U. To find the harmonic conjugate U. Given was V, so we are finding the harmonic conjugate U. Right. So to find the harmonic conjugate, we start from considering the CR equations. Similar to the Cartesian representation, here also we consider the CR equations in the polar form. We substitute the known things and we can move ahead to obtain the unknown expression. To integrate directly and obtain the expression for U. Procedure remains the same as we had done it in the Cartesian form. So consider the CR equations. Consider the CR equations in the polar form. RUR is equal to V theta and RVR is equal to minus U theta. These are the CR equations in the polar form. I'll consider one by one and do so that we can apply the direct integration and obtain the answer. So that is the reason I'll consider one by one. So first I will consider RUR is equal to V theta. RUR is equal to V theta. In order to find U, I can substitute the partial derivative V theta in this. We have known it. We have already known with the value in the previous case. Now V theta is minus cos theta divided by R. So UR is equal to minus cos theta divided by R into R square. I took this left hand side R also to the right hand side. So V theta was minus cos theta by R. Now one more R in the denominator gets multiplied, so it becomes R square. So this is UR for us. UR means dou U by dou R. Dou U by dou R. So we can integrate on both sides and obtain the answer here. So we'll just substitute the same thing. Dou U by dou R is known for us minus cos theta divided by R square. So on integration, U is equal to minus integration of cos theta divided by R square with respect to R plus add the constant of integration with respect to theta, f of theta. It was dou U by dou R. So in order to get rid of partial derivative dou U by dou R, when we integrate with respect to R, it is dr term here. And we need to add the constant of integration as a function of theta. As a function of theta, we need to add the constant of integration. So this on integration with respect to R gives us U is equal to cos theta is a constant, integration of R power minus 2. Integration of R power minus 2 is R power minus 1 by minus 1. So there's already a minus sign, so it becomes minus of minus plus. So this gives us cos theta divided by R plus function of theta as it is. Let me call this as equation 1 for convenient. R power minus 2 integration is R power minus 1 divided by minus 1. There's one more minus, so minus of minus becomes plus R power minus 1. R power minus 1 in the denominator becomes R. So cos theta divided by R is the answer plus f of theta. This is according to case 1 by considering one of the CR equation. Now on the same lines, we'll consider second CR equation. RVR is equal to minus U theta and perform on the same lines. RVR is equal to minus U theta. So I'll just perform the second case now. RVR is equal to minus U theta. Now what are we familiar with? We are familiar with VR, sin theta divided by R square. Sin theta divided by r square. So left hand side I will substitute r into sine theta divided by r square is equal to minus dou u by dou theta. I just wrote the full form. So what will be dou u by dou theta from this? Dou u by dou theta will be minus sine theta divided by r. When r get cancelled, so minus sine theta divided by r. Now we can do the direct integration. So u is minus integration of sine theta divided by r into d theta plus function of r is added as a constant integration. We had dou u by dou theta in the left hand part. So we need to integrate with respect to theta in order to get rid of dou u by dou theta. So integration with respect to d theta, integration with respect to theta, so that is by d theta here. Add the constant of integration as a function of r, that is by g of r. Now we need to integrate with respect to theta. What is the integration of sine theta? It is minus cos theta. Already a minus is there. So this becomes minus of minus plus. So u is equal to cos theta divided by r plus g of r. Now observe equations 1 and 2. Are they same? Cos theta by r. Here also it is cos theta by r. So can I choose both the constant of integrations as zeros? So we can choose to get a unique expression, correct? So we can choose f of theta is equal to 0 and g of r also equal to 0 to get unique expression. Unique expression for u. So what is that unique expression for u we obtain? It is cos theta divided by r. So therefore, u is equal to cos theta divided by r. Which was the second part of the problem. Now the last part of the problem, that is to find f of z. To find f of z, we always start from considering f of z is equal to u plus iv. F of z is given by u plus iv. We substitute both u and v. U is cos theta divided by r. V is minus sine theta divided by r. Given question was minus sine theta divided by r, which is v, the imaginary term. Now we make use of the Milne-Thomson substitution and obtain f of z as a function of z. So using Milne-Thomson substitution, put r is equal to z and theta is equal to 0. So what do we get f of z? Cos theta, cos 0 is 1, cos 0 divided by z minus I into sine 0 divided by z. So we recall standard values. Cos 0 is 1, sine 0 is 0. So this gives us f of z as 1 by z. Sine 0 is 0, so imaginary term vanishes. Cos 0 is 1, so 1 by z is the answer for f of z. So this is how in the polar representation we can prove all the three parts. This first to prove that V is harmonic, followed by we can find its harmonic conjugate u by direct integration concept considering the CR equations, right? And then to find the analytic function f of z considering u plus iv and using Milne-Thomson substitution. Now we'll see one last problem in the polar representation. The question is u is equal to r plus 1 by r plus 1 by r into cos theta. So we have to again prove all the three parts. That is first to find the harmonic first to prove that u is harmonic, then to find its harmonic conjugate v, followed by finding analytic function f of z. We'll prove one by one. So first to prove that it is harmonic, we have to prove urr plus 1 by r ur plus 1 by r square u theta is equal to 0. So let us find the partial derivatives first. Find out ur. With respect to r, differentiation gives me 1 minus 1 by r square into cos theta as it is. And r with respect to r, once again, differentiation of minus 1 by r square is 2 by r cube, keeping cos theta as it is. Let me tell you the differentiation once again. With respect to r differentiation with respect to r is 1. Differentiation of 1 by r is minus 1 by r square, keeping cos theta as it is. Then differentiation of a constant is 0. Differentiation of 1 by r square is minus 2 by r cube. Minus of minus becomes plus 2 by r cube, keeping cos theta as it is. So this is the differentiation with respect to r twice. Now we will find out the differentiation with respect to theta. So with respect to theta, differentiation gives me, keeping r plus 1 by r as it is, differentiation of cos theta is minus sin theta. And once again, when we want to differentiate with respect to theta, minus sine and r plus 1 by r will be as it is. Differentiation of sine theta will be cos theta. Now we consider the harmonic Laplace's equation in the polar form to prove it as harmonic. Consider the Laplace's equation in the polar form urr plus 1 by r ur plus 1 by r square u theta theta. We need to prove this is equal to 0. First, let us substitute them. So urr is 2 by r cube into cos theta plus 1 by r into ur. Ur is nothing but 1 minus 1 by r square into cos theta plus 1 by r square as it is. U theta theta is minus of r plus 1 by r into cos theta. Now multiply the terms to check whether the sum is equal to 0 or not. So let us first multiply the terms. First term as it is. Second term, it is 1 by r. Second term, it is 1 by r into cos theta. Then it is minus 1 by r cube into cos theta. The next term is plus into minus 1 by r into cos theta. And the last term is minus 1 by r cube into cos theta. So first observe the like terms and cancel off. So we have 1 by r cos theta cancelling with minus 1 by r cos theta. These two directly get cancelled. The remaining terms is minus 1 by r cube cos theta, minus 1 by r cube cos theta. They get added, which is minus 2 by r cube cos theta, which gets cancelled with this term. So 2 by r cube, minus 1 by r cube, minus 1 by r cube. So these three gets cancelled and the sum is equal to 0. Right now, so urr plus 1 by r ur plus 1 by r square u theta theta is proved to be equal to 0, which implies that u satisfies the Laplace's equation and hence u is harmonic. The harmonic condition is different in the polar. Please memorize properly and do. The harmonic condition is, or the Laplace's equation in polar form is urr plus 1 by r ur plus 1 by r square u theta theta should be equal to 0. Then only we say u is harmonic. So this was the first part of the problem. Now the second part of the problem is to find its harmonic conjugate V. So to find harmonic conjugate V, to find the harmonic conjugate V. What is the procedure to find V? We consider the CR equations in the polar form and we substitute the partial derivatives, known partial derivatives, and we simplify by direct integration, obtain V. Okay, so consider the CR equations. Consider the CR equations in the polar form, which are given by r ur is equal to v theta and r vr is equal to minus u theta. So these are the CR equations in the polar form. We will consider one by one as we did in the previous problem and obtain the direct integration to obtain V. So consider R UR is equal to V theta. Substitute the known partial derivative, which is known to us. UR is known to us. 1 minus 1 by R square cos theta. 1 minus 1 by R square cos theta. So let us substitute R into 1 minus 1 by R square cos theta is equal to dou V by dou theta. I expanded the right hand side and wrote the full form. So what is dou V by dou theta from this? Multiply R inside and write down. So this becomes R minus 1 by R cube into cos theta. Correct? No? Multiplying R inside. R minus 1 by R cube into cos theta. Now on direct integration, we can obtain V. We have to integrate with respect to theta. So R minus 1 by R cube into cos theta d theta plus add the constant of integration f of R. So let us integrate with respect to theta. So V is equal to R minus 1 by R cube is a constant with respect to theta. Integration of cos theta is sin theta plus add the constant of integration. Add the constant of, I'm sorry. So I'm sorry, there was a mistake. So I had to rewrite this. So multiply R inside and write down dou V by dou theta. So this becomes R minus 1 by R into cos theta. Correct? It is not 1 by R cube. R into 1 is R. R into 1 by R square gives us 1 by R. So minus 1 by R into cos theta. Let us perform the direct integration to obtain V. We have to integrate with respect to theta. So V is integration of R minus 1 by R into cos theta d theta plus add the constant of integration f of R. Since we integrate with respect to theta, we add constant of integration with respect to R. So on integration, R minus 1 by R is a constant, write down as it is. Integration of cos theta d theta is sin theta plus f of R, function of R. Let me call this as equation 1 for convenient. Later, we need to solve in the same lines for R into VR is equal to minus u theta and obtain another expression for R, for V and choose the constant of integrations f of R and g of theta. Right? So let us proceed further. Considering the other CR equation, R VR is equal to minus u theta. So second one, R VR is equal to minus u theta. Let us substitute the known partial derivative. The known partial derivative is u theta. R VR is equal to minus u theta, no? So minus of R plus 1 by R into sin theta, we have to substitute R plus 1 by R into sin theta. So let us substitute the same thing here. So R into VR is equal to minus of minus plus R plus 1 by R into sin theta. Let me just check that once. Minus u theta, I have to substitute. So minus u theta, minus of minus plus R plus 1 by R into sin theta. R plus 1 by R into sin theta. Yes, it's correct. Divide throughout by R plus. So taking R to the other side, we can obtain VR here. So VR is equal to R, we are dividing. So it becomes 1 plus 1 by R square, no? R divided by R is 1 into sin theta. Now this is nothing but dou V by dou R. Whatever we have written here in the left hand side is actually nothing but dou V by dou R. So let us write on the full form only for convenient. So dou V by dou R is equal to this much. And we now integrate with respect to R on both sides. So V is equal to integration of 1 plus 1 by R square into sin theta into dr plus the constant of integration g of theta. So this gives us with respect to R, we are integrating. So sin theta is a constant. We will write it down as it is. Integration of 1 dr is R. Integration of 1 by R square is minus 1 by R. The whole thing into sin theta Sin theta is a constant. We have written it as it is plus g of theta. Let me call this as equation 2. Now we will compare equation 1 and 2. R minus 1 by r sin theta is equation 2. And equation 1 is r minus 1 by r into sin theta. F of r and g of theta both can be chosen as 0 to get a unique expression for v. So choosing f of r is equal to 0 and g of theta also equal to 0, we get unique expression for v. And the unique expression for v is r minus 1 by r into sin theta. Let us conclude the answer for r minus 1 by r into sin theta. This is the unique expression for v. So this was the second part of the problem, that is to find the harmonic conjugate. Now to find the last part of the problem, to find f of z, that is f of z is the analytic function here. To find f of z, we consider the expression for f of z as u plus iv. U was the given question, v just now we obtained. So let us substitute both of them and use Milne-Thomson substitution. So u is nothing but r plus 1 by r into cos theta plus I into v. V is r minus 1 by r into sin theta. Both u and v we substituted. Now we make use of the Milne-Thomson substitution. That is, in the polar form, the MTS is r is equal to z and theta is equal to 0. Since r is z and theta is equal to 0, we get f of z as a function of z, which is z plus 1 by z multiplied by cos 0 plus I into z minus 1 by z into sin 0. Recalling the standard values of sin 0 and cos 0. Sin 0 is 0, cos 0 is 1. So finally, f of z will be z plus 1 by z, which is the required analytic function. So hope these problems on the harmonic function part was helpful to all of you. Thank you for watching.